everyone. Welcome back to Boys and Girls Clubs of the Gulf Coast live stream. My name is Morgan Boglin. I'm the Director of Marketing Communications for the organization. We're back today with Elements of Scholar Athlete on a little bit of a different day, but we wanted to make sure we didn't miss out on this interview. And we're back with Javon, our IP Center Club member in D'Iberville. And so at this time, I'm going to pass it over to you, Javon.
Thank you. Welcome back, youth and families, to Elements of a Scholar Athlete Virtual Conferences. This series brings you live streams of professional athletes, trainers, and coaches to hear tips, encouragement, and strategy directly from some of the experts in the field. Scholar athletes are well-rounded young people that understand dedication, career, and academic commitment that it takes to be successful as both an athlete and as an adult. Scholar athletes are not just students who play sports. My name is Javon. I am 17 years old and I attend Harrison Central High School. I am a member of the IP unit of the Boys and Girls Club of the Gulf Coast. I have the pleasure of interviewing a very special guest, Anthony Alford. Clap it up, I can't see y'all clapping, but clap it up. Welcome, Anthony, and thank you for joining us. Now tell us a little bit about yourself.
Obviously, as you said, my name is Anthony Alford. Born and raised in Columbia, Mississippi. Went to high school and graduated from Petal High School. Always been a dual sport guy. Always focused on football and baseball. I got drafted by Toronto Blue Jays in the third round out of high school back in 2012. So I've been doing that. Also went to college at the University of Southern Mississippi for a year. Before transferring to Ole Miss for 2 years. To continue to work on my studies and pursue my dream as a professional athlete. I'm married. I'll be married for 6 years next month. Just had my first daughter, April 20th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just had my first daughter. So like that's pretty much all about myself.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, we'll jump into some questions about your sports life real quick.
Yeah.
Who was your role model in your childhood?
I've always grown up, so I've always been into sports. So my biggest role model is probably Bo Jackson, because he played football and baseball at the highest level, and he was very good at both of them. But he's definitely my role model, for sports, but just in life, period, probably my grandma.
It's nice. My grandma's my role model too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Strong women.
When did you find your interest in sports?
Probably around 5-6 years old. So my mom, she used to always buy me basketballs, football, soccer balls. It was always something dealing with sports. Even the way my room was designed, everything was about athletics. I think that around 5-6 years old was whenever my parents first introduced me to sports, and I enjoyed the competitive nature, being able to compete and do something fun, and at the same time socialize with other people. But yes, about 5-6 years old.
Okay. What made you ultimately choose baseball as your career?
The longevity of the sport. You can play it for a longer time. Health-wise, I played football in college, but I started learning that the long-term effects that your body have from the game of football. And baseball is just, you get to travel so much and see so many different parts of the world. Just football is pretty much based here in the U.S., but baseball, you get to meet people from other nationalities and from all over the world. It's other leagues you can play in outside of the U.S. On top of that, it pays way more money.
Yeah. Okay. This is one you're going to have to think about. What was your biggest achievement in sports? Since you started playing sports, what has been your biggest achievement?
Biggest achievement has been making it to the big leagues, honestly. I could say a particular play or a particular at bat or home run. But like now, I think my biggest achievement has been making it to the big leagues, because like you don't see many African American players playing the Major League Baseball. You know, that's
Understand?
at that high of a level. So I think that's definitely been my biggest achievement. And not many people, like a lot of people get drafted, but not everybody make it to the big
Yeah.
league. So making it to the major leagues has been my biggest achievement.
Not only did you make it to the big leagues, you set an example for other young black men coming up
Right,
behind you who like sports.
right. And I think that's big, for another black kid who like grew up like myself to see another African American succeeding in the game of baseball. Hopefully that can help them gravitate towards the game. 'Cause the only thing we really see is um, like African Americans football play on TV, as far as African Americans, it's football players, basketball players, rappers, actors, but like you don't really see many. You might see dark skinned people, but they gonna have like the last name Rodriguez, or they're like Latin. But as far as African American, it's not many of us in the league, but it's I think it's getting there though.
Okay. I read online that on September 23rd, 2019, in bottom of the 15th inning, you hit your first major league home run to give Toronto an 11-10 victory over the Baltimore Orioles. What did that feel like for you? I know what it felt like for me, but what did it feel like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. It felt really good. I don't think it really hit me until like after the game. But it not only was it my first home run, but it was like a walk off, like my first ever walk off home run in my life. So it was just, it's a feeling I couldn't really explain. Obviously, if you saw the video, I'm like speeding all the way around the bases. Um, it was a really good feeling. I think I was just more excited about getting that game over. 'Cause playing 15 innings in baseball is a long time. So I was more excited that the game was over than about the home run.
Okay. Another question. How do you handle pressure?
Um, Me personally, I believe that the only pressure that you have is the pressure you put on yourself, which is a lot of times unnecessary. Um, but for me, whenever I do start feeling pressured in some type of way, I like really just try to focus on my breathing to calm myself down. Um, yeah, like I just breathe and like visualize myself doing something successful. So a lot of breathing and a lot of um, visualization of just seeing myself being successful. It just calms me down.
You got to get that woosah.
Yeah.
What are your strengths, both as an athlete and as a person?
Um, as an athlete, it's definitely obviously my athletic ability, to do like a lot of stuff that people can't, as far as being naturally gifted. Um, I think the ability to connect with all my teammates is definitely a strength for me. Um, and but as a person, I think just like kind of like the same as athletics. I'm able to connect with different people and see the good in people, and really just build those relationships.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. What character traits do you find are important to have as an athlete? Like, what do you think? What character traits do you think makes an athlete either a better athlete or a good athlete?
Definitely the work ethic. I mean, definitely the work ethic aspect of it, because you see a lot of good athletes, really like great athletes, who doesn't have a work ethic, and I think that can separate you from being successful and failing. I think that's the biggest one, being determined and the work ethic. But on top of that is being able to like the ability to retain information and learn, like, because if you're an athlete, you're gonna come across a lot of good coaches who give you good pointers, but you have to be able to retain the information and learn it and put it into play.
You have it. Do you have any other character traits that you think might help make an athlete better or just a good athlete?
Yeah, humility, honestly. You got to be able to humble yourself, because a lot of times kids don't allow themselves to learn because of their pride. Their pride get in the way, but you have to be able to humble yourself, and just, like, accept the fact whenever you're wrong. Like, say I'm wrong, I don't know the answer to this. Ask questions, but all of that kind of falls under the umbrella of humility.
What would you say to a young person that aspires to play sports on a professional level?
Believe in yourself. I mean, you have to believe in yourself. A lot of kids have the ability to do it, but if they don't believe it, then it's not going to come to pass. So I think you definitely have to believe in yourself, because you're going to have people doubting you, telling you can't do it. They're going to be putting their fears on you. Like, then once you do start to doubt yourself, then you've lost that battle. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just being able to believe in yourself and see yourself being successful at doing it.
My dad coaches me on basketball, and one thing he always tells me is that if I can believe in myself, or believe that I can get to a certain point in my life, then I can achieve it.
Right. Because I don't think you would have that vision, if you didn't have the ability to do it. Like, God wouldn't give you that vision if you didn't have the ability to accomplish it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, at the same time, we got to be realistic. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, oh, I just wanted to be an NBA player because I love to play basketball. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm 6 foot, and there's not many 6 feet NBA players. So, like, you have to be realistic about a lot of stuff. But at the same time, like, nothing is impossible. So if you really believe it, then and you chase that dream, it can definitely come to pass.
Yes, sir. Now, this next set of questions is going to be about your education and your character.
Okay.
What college did you go to, and what do you study?
I did a semester at Southern Mississippi, and then I did about a year and a half, 2 years at the University of Mississippi. My major is business finance.
Okay. I'll be taking that same class when I graduate.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be going to college for accounting, business, and finance.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. In your opinion, how important is education?
I think it's very important. Obviously, everybody can't throw a ball or run fast, I think what education does, or the level of education you accomplish, as far as how much, like how many degrees you get, or whether it's a master or doctor. But I think what that does is it opens up doors for you. Even though you might not remember everything that you learn in college, but I think once you walk across that stage and graduate, I think it allows you opportunity, it allows you access, and it just opens up doors for you, where that door that wouldn't be open if you just didn't have that education, So it creates opportunity for you. So, and I think that's a big thing.
Okay. This is another deep question. With you being you, how did you separate yourself or distinguish yourself as a scholar athlete from everybody else, and not put yourself and manage to not be put in that box as just another kid who plays sports? How did you separate yourself from other athletes?
Well, obviously, like, I worked hard in everything that I did, and I was just determined to be successful, whether it was sports or not. I think the big thing when you look at the word scholar athlete, like, you got to realize, like, you're a scholar first, right? So, like, that comes before athleticism, and I know in the back of my mind, I had to remember, like, I can't play ball for the rest of my life. So at some point, I'm gonna need an education to get a good job, But yeah, I remember a coach once telling me, like, if you really love something, like, you will never let anything stop you from doing it. And that's just one of the requirements you got to have. Like, that's one of the requirements that I had to have in order continue to pursue my dream as an athlete. Like I had to take care of my business in the classroom. And if I didn't, then I couldn't play sports. Like not necessarily that I didn't enjoy being in the classroom, don't get me wrong, but I knew I had to handle my business in that in order to pursue my dream as an athlete.
What challenges did you come across in getting where you are today?
Biggest challenges, probably injuries, minor setbacks. Physically, those are the challenges. Just setbacks and injuries, and but as far as mentally, like just the doubt, like that little doubt that creeps in, you start to doubt yourself, and like just overcoming that, and just trying to like mentally overflow those negative thoughts with positive ones. It can be challenging, especially whenever you face adversity. But just injuries on the physical side, but just that doubt on the mental side.
I understand. What was the happiest moment in your life?
Oh, seeing my baby girl being born. Yeah, that's definitely, that just happened like 9 weeks ago. So that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what is your newborn baby girl's name?
Stella Bell.
Beautiful name. Beautiful
Thank
name.
You. Yeah, we named after my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably already know the answer to this question, but what gives you hope to keep pushing?
Kids in the communities that look like me, like kids in those minority communities, African American communities, or just kids who grew up in poverty, you know. Like I've been there before. I grew up like that, so and I know the feeling. Like everything just feels like impossible, and people around you make it feel like your dreams are impossible to accomplish. I think just remembering that feeling and just knowing what them kids are going through, and like that's what motivates me to continue to do what I'm doing. And on top of that, family. I want to be able to one day take care of my family and put them on the right path to be successful as well.
I like that because I relate to that as well. I feel like people who grew up in those situations and in those environments need a good example or a role model, a person that they can look up to give them motivation to be able to get to where they want to go and get what they want.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Like you look at a lot of the African American athletes, the ones who've done really well, like you think like they came from those exact situations, you know. But the only part that you see, the only version of them that you see is the version that's on TV. They didn't tell you about their past. They didn't tell you about everything they had to go through, the adversity they had to overcome, their rough childhood. They just show you the money that they done made, the touchdowns they score, how many points they score a game, or their flashy cars or their houses. Like they don't show you the process. You know, they just show you the glory from their past, from their path.
What are your future goals?
My future goals, obviously I want to play a long time in the big leagues, but I one day want to, my ultimate goal is to be able to build an academy that kind of like levels the playing field for minority kids or kids in poverty-stricken situations, and just kind of just give them the opportunities and the resources that they need to be successful, not on just the athletic side, but also the academic side, whether they want to pursue music or whatever it is, you know. I want to build an academy that kind of just teaches like skill trainings and just, like I say, be able to provide those resources to kids who parents can't afford it.
I like that. I feel like that would be a good thing. It would help kids be great at what they like or what they're already good at. Just help them get better and give them a better opportunity.
Right. And you look at it like it's a lot of stuff that public education doesn't teach kids. It just puts everybody in this one little box, like, you know. So, but one kid might not want to go to school to be a doctor. Maybe he want to be a mechanic, or maybe he wants to be an entrepreneur, or maybe he wants to be a musician, or whatever it is. Maybe they want to be a construction worker. Like, what are we learning in school that's going to help them be successful? You know, like in that field, because it ain't like. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think a lot of things can be changed in public education, but I think kids don't really get to learn those skill sets at an early age, or whether it's whether it's learning to like checks and balance, or learning to manage money management. Like, I think kids can like learn that at an earlier age, instead of when you get into adulthood and this is your first time hearing about managing money, you know.
So now we're going to transition into a fun game to close us out called Rapid Fire. I'm going to give you questions or this or that options, and I want you to give me the first answer that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Number one, what is your hidden talent?
Fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah.
I like to fish. Freshwater or saltwater?
I used to go saltwater fishing a lot with a childhood friend, but like I do more freshwater now. Yeah.
I like to go freshwater fishing as well.
Yeah.
What is one thing you do not like about yourself?
I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm bald headed now. I lost my hair at 38. Other than that, I was bald at like 18 years old, 19 years old. So yeah.
Okay. Number three. You from Mississippi, I'm from Louisiana. We both from the South. And I got my answer for this question. So, grits or oatmeal?
Oh, grits. Come on.
I agree.
You grits. You gotta go. And that's one thing I don't like about, like, when I go to the North, is it's like they don't really eat grits in the North, you know. So like, yeah, but like definitely grits. But ain't nothing like waking up in the morning and your grandma done cooked up some grits and eggs and bacon. You know, like, grits is the best.
Okay. Number four, relax on the beach or hike up a mountain?
I'll relax on the beach. I don't want none of them extra workouts. Yeah.
Okay. iPhone and Android?
iPhone.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
What is one thing that you want to learn to do?
I want to learn to play the harmonica. No. I take that back. I want to learn to play golf. That's what it is. I've been working on it, and I suck right now, but I want to learn how to play golf really well.
My stepdad used to make a joke that golf is just ground baseball.
Yeah, it seemed like that, but I promise you it's way harder to hit. Like, I can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at me that's moving, but I can't just hit that little ball that's sitting on the tee. Like, it's just so tough. It takes a lot of discipline and consistency to be good at golf.
Okay. Who is your favorite Disney character?
I never really watched Disney, but one of the only ones I know. I don't really have any Disney characters. So I just say Mickey Mouse. I don't know.
Okay. Who is the funniest person you know?
Probably one of my teammates, a guy named Gunner Height.
Okay. All right. This is a good question right here. Sweet or salty?
Sweet. Yeah, definitely sweet.
I'm kind of on the sweet side too.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Do you use emojis when you text? And if so, what is your favorite emoji?
I do use emojis. I don't really do like the faces. I mean, unless I'm like talking to my wife, but I do use, my favorite emojis is this one, the little black fist. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friends, like, yo, I appreciate that. And I just give them like a black fist or something. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, kids, we're hoping that this information has helped keep you encouraged to do great things. This is a difficult time for our country, but you are not alone. We are pushing through this time together. Be sure to follow Boys and Girls Club of the Gulf Coast on Facebook and tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. for our education and career series with the U.S. Army National Guard Sergeant Emily Nazar, or Emile Nazar. It's doing it too, but shout out to him. I said his name wrong. Shout out to him. Thank you, Mr. Anthony, for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.